So normally what I do when I have a meeting in town is I go down earlier than I know my meeting is. So say I've got a meeting at 11, which I do, I'd go down for like 10 and I would chill in my office and get a little bit of work done. So I know that I'm going to be there on time, you know I'm going to be there early. The problem with this is I have a meeting at 11, but it's in my office. And I'm not really sure how to play that because they're also in my office. So, which is why it's in my office. But it's in the office that I don't know as well. So there's like multiple places we can go in the city. And it's in the bigger one. And I don't know when to leave, when to get there. Because normally, like, I like to get places early, but it'll be awkward if I just like got there half an hour early and then kind of like sat down near the person I'm going to meet, you know? Because I know who it is as well. So, so like the whole thing is a little bit awkward. But we're about to head on out. I'm going to get down. I'm going to leave it an hour early. Should get there in plenty of time. If I've got... It's not raining, is it? Hopefully it's not raining. And if it is, then I'll just go in and hide somewhere, basically. Just try and hide in a corner. Go as little distance into the building as possible to reduce the chances of me bumping into him. And then just find somewhere to sit down. Anyway, let's get rid of bounce. It's wet out, but I don't think it's raining. I'm trying to make a point of wearing my odd Converse to meetings and stuff. I feel like, and like meetups and things where there's multiple people going. I'm trying to do that because I feel like will make me stand out a little bit more, ironically. Even though I do it, I do it because I like them. I like my odd Converse. And most people don't ever notice, but if they do notice, then it's something to remember me by. Who knew, however many years ago when I started wearing odd Converse, it would become like my thing, you know. Okay, so I've got my card to get into my office. I've got my wallet. I've got my laptop. I've got my notepad. Kindle to read on the bus. Anything else? Anything else I need? Notepad. I don't need anything else, do I? No, that'll be fine. I've got my laptop. It's not like I'm going to actually get it out and show them anything, I don't think. I'm a paper notes kind of guy, you know, so not a digital notes kind of guy. So we'll see how it goes. I've got my glasses as well. Let's bounce, let's get out of the house, let's stop procrastinating and let's go. I'm working very, very hard on being productive at like everything. So like everything is like time optimized from the jump, if that makes sense. So stop chatting shit to you, eh? See, I'm much less nervous about something like this than I am like the things where you go and it's a lot more like casual and relaxed. You know, this is like a proper business meeting to discuss whether or not we can integrate our two products together, and or I can support them. I'm not actually sure which angle they're going for. Whether or not I can aid their development or be a feature to be added onto their platform that they're building. I'm not sure, but I'm much more chilled out and relaxed about this than I am the more casual stuff because there's like a contract, you know. I understand what I'm walking into. When you walk into a room of like 50 people, you don't have that same kind of social contract for how the proceedings are going to go. Even though this is the first time I've ever done one of these. Also, I'm kind of helped out by the fact that I'm not 100% convinced I can integrate with the product they're building, and RadSpider itself can't really integrate with their development either, so it's kind of like just the code review side that I can possibly offer them at the moment, or consultancy. But it's gonna be fine. It's raining, I don't know if you've noticed. It also feels good to be A, out the house, and B, definitely doing something that's not programming, that is like productive to the business beyond development. So that's good. Plan is get in, settle down. I think they're upstairs based on the email they sent me about an hour ago. So I'm gonna go in, settle down, hide in a corner somewhere, wait until about 5 to, then I'll ring them and tell them I'm here. That's my plan. Meeting done, hour and a half. Interesting stuff. I saw like what they're working on. They're a startup, there's 2 of them. They're working on this really interesting platform. We kind of like talked them through what I was doing, taught them through what they were doing. Yeah, it's quite interesting. So I'd like to say I didn't think there was much opportunity for overlap, just based on what they're building and how they're building it. I knew that RadSpider definitely wouldn't work, not that it's built yet, and even code reviews isn't necessarily that applicable to them either. Mainly due to the technology stack they use in more than anything else, to be honest. But it was really interesting to kind of get out and see, and trying to like see what other people are doing, see how they're doing it. They're kind of in a similar-ish space. There's like a minor overlap in like, we're kind of solving similar problems, but in like kind of different areas. We're not really, to be honest. But like what they're trying to do is kind of like, you could very, very, very loosely say we're in a similar area, which he did say, which I don't agree with particularly, having thought about it. But they are two people who are bootstrapping this thing, so they're kind of like similar in a business workflow kind of mindset, and than I am, to me, sorry. So yeah, it was interesting to talk to them, interesting to see what they've got and get some feedback on what I'm doing and what they're doing. Yeah, they might be some good contacts to have as well, I reckon. I'll keep them in the loop, you know what I'm saying? I am gonna head home and have some food. I'm gonna jot some notes down about that meeting as well, so I don't forget anything. And then we can figure out what we're gonna do with the rest of the afternoon. You see, like, the problem I have when I measure effectively, when the only thing I'm measuring is how much software I'm developing, things like that feel really unproductive, but it's probably the most productive thing I've done for a couple of weeks, you know? I really wish there was like an easy way to kind of monitor and make sure that I'm doing things like that which feel less productive, but I know deep down are more productive, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get back into like time boxing things and making sure that I'm spending time doing stuff, even though it might not necessarily feel like the most productive use of my time. So like for now, having spent the entire morning out, well, and working on other things, I'm like, I should really get some programming done. But there's things I need to do tomorrow. So I'm gonna need to do those things. So what I have is, I'm trying out sprints. This is the start of my first ever sprint variants. I've been doing Kanban for a long time, but I feel like Kanban has allowed me to kind of, it feels like I'm meandering a little bit, and I feel like Scrum might give me the like pressure effectively of having to do work to get over the line, rather than just kind of work at my own kind of pace. Oh, let's go quick today. Oh, it doesn't matter if I go so slow. Not that it's one of the things where I feel like I'm doing that. I'm probably not, but you beat yourself up when you have no one else to measure yourself against. You just beat yourself up for not being better, you know? So I have like short-term code stuff in Azure DevOps. I have like the sprint, and I have like basically the next two features I'm going to be working on, all like not tasked up, but user storied up at the very least. And then every week I'm going to try planning them on a Sunday night, so that I've got the week's worth of work for the week. Then I have a board that's just got high-level like features on it in Asana, and that's where I'm going to be like picking out what to do next. And when I start having people to delegate to, that's kind of where I'm going to be keeping track of all the things I'm working on from like a longer period of time. I also have a list of things that I know I'm going to need at some point, but don't know when. That's my backlog. That's in Asana as well. There's no point migrating that over to Azure DevOps yet. So I'm keeping that there. But then I'm kind of like, is everything else, is like, how do you keep a metric of it? So I've got the daily to-do list, which I populate every morning, of the things I want to accomplish in the day. And I kind of fell off of using that. I kind of stopped using it a little bit, and or not really caring if I didn't finish it. And that's the problem. I shouldn't let that happen. If it goes on the to-do list, it gets done. If I can't do it, it shouldn't be on there, you know? And otherwise, I'm just trying to like segment the day so that I'm spending X amount of time on this, X amount of time on that. I've got some goals throughout the week. So I'm kind of using the sprint thing, but like not from a sprint. So I want to be at a certain point with how many emails and clients I've spoken to. I want to be at a certain point with the blog that I'll be releasing next Thursday. I want to be at a certain point with something else I'm working on. So it's like, I've got lots of plates. And it's really tempting just to keep spinning this one, you know? But I've got to make sure they're all going. Even if, like this one's made out of gold, and the longer I spin it, the more valuable that is, the more impressive that is, because it's really hard to spin. This is a very much stretched analogy. And then I've got some other plates, which are just like kind of a bit more boring, you know? And you're just like, it feels like this one wants all the attention, but I've got to stop doing that. And I don't really have a way of doing it. So I'm just kind of experimenting. It wasn't a thing that I struggled with to start with when I like first started this stuff, but I kind of go through like waves of being productive on the other stuff and not being productive on the other stuff. So yeah, so that's basically it. What I'm saying is I'm gonna make myself a cup of tea and then I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna write some emails so that I can get ready to send them tomorrow. And then I'm gonna do some Docker stuff. Yay, boy, I love Docker stuff. So yeah, like the problem that I have is, a really common saying is like, if you care about something, measure it. Like, if you care about revenue, measure how much revenue you make, and then you'll naturally try and make that number better. And the problem I have is that I'm very good at, like, I'm kind of by mistake measuring code because I need to effectively document all the ideas I'm getting and all the things I need to get done. So I'm kind of very detailed measurement of all the work I'm doing code-wise, and I'm measuring my daily tasks and like how much time I spend on daily tasks. But what's more difficult to measure are the things that either happen regularly, like twice, 6 times a week, on only 3 days a week, so it's not spread out, and or things that just kind of take longer. So things that take like a week to do, they can effectively never go on my to-do list because I'll not get it done by the end of the day, you know? So I kind of need like a long-term to-do list. So at the moment I've just got like a piece of paper on my desk. I'm going very low tech to try and keep on top of that, but yeah. Otherwise it's quite cold today. The house is quite chilly, which is odd. Yeah. It's weird because it's not cold outside. That's what I don't get about it. It kind of feels like inside is cooler than outside, which I don't really understand. I don't know whether that means it's windy or not windy outside. I don't know. But it is. It's bizarre. But yeah. Otherwise, because I bust into town and I'm back, I'm not having my afternoon and morning walk. I just obviously walk to the bus. That's my commute. It's a commute. It's not a walk. And I commuted. So, but I have 2 more days this week where I have things going on in town. One of which it starts at 6 o'clock at night. So I'm just going to go down like for that thing. And the other one is in the morning and then in midday, lunchtime. So I'm going to go and work in my office for a little bit on that day. So I've got to like play around what I can do at home and what I need to not save, but what laptop work I can do out and what desktop work I can do in, I guess. First week I decided to do this software thing. Everything kicks off at once. I had that meeting today. I've got 3 meetups planned in now. One's just appeared on Friday, which looks interesting. God damn, it's gonna be a freaking busy week, man. God damn it. I can't be unproductive. I've still got to get the same amount of work done. That's the thing. Which arguably, depending on the way you look at it, could be deemed as more than I did last week. So that's like how much I'm pushing myself. I need to push myself more. I'm getting guilty. I feel like I'm not pushing myself enough. Oh, that was cringy AF. So a lot of the way that I find whether or not companies will be a good fit for me is by hunting down job adverts. And there's a job advert for a company that I have actually some connections with, but I didn't realise that they did the stuff that they're advertising in this job advert. There's a phone number on the poll that you can call to find out if to find more information. And I was like, fuck it, let's call this phone number, see what's going on. Because my connections there are quite old. They've been around for a long time. And yeah, so I just rung them and effectively pretended I was interested in, kind of did half the hoops you jump through to be like, yes, this one dude is kind of a recruiter that works for the company, whose phone number I just got and their email address I just got. And he's expecting me to email them my CV. And I'm now not sure whether or not to do that or to approach differently. So what I've been doing, in fact, I've never actually contacted them. I've never actually put my name forward I use the information to find out how to contact them, then I contact them under a different pretext. But now I have an email of someone and the name of someone who, and annoying, it is somewhere that I probably would consider working as well, like if I was in the market for that kind of thing. It sounds like a lot of the things that they do/need are things that I could provide. Oh, that's a hard one, boy. That's a hard one. I might have to talk to Laura about this and figure out what I'm doing, what the best strat is. I could try both. I could, like, the connection that I do have is relatively loose, but I could try both connections. One formally through Varialis and the other one informally through applying for a job. Christ. Laura is on her way home. I have some lofty ambitions for the amount of work that I want to get done this week. And it's like probably the busiest week I've ever had in a way. On top of the fact that I'm trying to get so much work done. And you know what? This is what it should be like. This is, you got to push yourself to the point where that's it, you know what I mean? You got to just go as far as you can to try and get as much done as possible. And I think it's doable. I think if anyone can do it, it's me, you know? Going for a 2-day long vlog today, so I'm going to try and not make it a bumper video. We're already 15 minutes in, so need to be a little bit careful. We had a bit of a crisis at Laura's workplace last night, so Laura had to go in early this morning to get stuff ready for court. So she left this morning at like 7, which is, she normally leaves at 8. So I actually started working a lot earlier than normal. I've done quite a lot so far. I've drafted emails, finished drafting emails to be sent out today. I've got 2 to the same company, which I was talking about yesterday. One to like the boss, and one to like the person who's advertising a job. It's kind of like different satellite offices, so I feel like I'm pretty safe doing 2 emails that are slightly different. That is going to be ready to go today. I'm going to cheat and I'm going to count that as 2 different clients. But we'll see. Otherwise, I've been developing my Docker snapshot images. Just going pretty freaking well, to be honest with you. There's one minor complication, but I don't actually think it is a complication. What the minor complication is, I need to get data out of an image, but I need the middle image to be the image that's built. So I need to get that like kind of packaged up and put into an image, which might be complicated. Especially considering, yeah. So that's where I'm at the moment. It's almost like I kind of want to build that image and then do some post-processing on it. But yeah, it's going well. So I'm living a dream, to be honest with you. I'm having a productive day, and I had a productive night last night as well. I finished off a bit of work that I wasn't even expecting to do this week, which is probably a bad thing. But today is one of the first, the only day actually now, that I'm at home all day on my own. Every other day I'm heading on out for a period of time, so today has got to be, we're gotta be on it, dog. We've got to be on that shit. Nailed it, ladies and gentlemen. My gosh, that works like a goddamn treat. I'm chuffed with that, ladies and gentlemen. God damn. All I need to do now is glue that into a function, pass in all of the data that I need to pass in, and then roll. The only confusing thing now is we've got to build this. Is that confusing? No, it's not confusing. Because we've already done it before. We've already got a workflow for that. Oh my god, that's dope. So yeah, all I need to do now is glue this into an Azure function that triggers when a message is put on a message bus. As soon as a message is on the bus, this bad boy will run. And we're set. Fuck. God damn, that's good. You know what that means, boys and girls? We finished that, now we move on to something else, completely different. We are going to prepare more emails for tomorrow, I think staying on top of that, that's the most valuable thing I can do. If I stay on top of that, I can then fit in, when I like catch up with myself, I can then do blogs and stuff. It's all coming together, boys. I'm so fucking pumped right now. That also took me 2 hours less than I estimated, which gives me 2 extra hours on the next task, which is fix the inevitable issues I have when I actually deploy it and try and run it in the cloud itself. So I'm looking forward to that. I've got 5 hours estimated down for developing the function that runs this file. So I'm pretty confident that will be 5 hours. It's going to be unlikely. These estimates were estimates that were big because of unknowns rather than big because there's a lot of work. But I have a feeling that this one I'm not going to get half as lucky with this one as I did the first. So And now we are just running the waiting game. We are trying to, we've put a message on the bus and I'm just waiting for the function to wake up and just take it. I've literally just deployed to it. So it should just take it off the bus in a couple of minutes. It took me a little bit of time to configure using the Azure Container Registry to build the images rather than local Docker. It's to do with, it took me a while to figure out, it was to do with the way that it was encoding the parameters I was passing in. That's all sorted. I've done the deployments. It's passed up all of the configuration, and now we just run it and just hope. It takes a little while for it to like work. It's quite slow. It takes about like 4 or 5 minutes to process this thing. So we just sit and wait here. I'm just using the Azure Container Registry at the moment, and I'm not sure whether or not I'll do that in the long run. I might end up hosting a box, like hosting some kind of machine that does this for me, because then I can give that some more brute strength. Because it runs much faster on Atlas than it does on there. It's a compute thing, and I'm being throttled by whatever this is. So, yeah, man. This is kind of exciting. I'm really crossing my fingers and hoping this just works. It won't be the first time it works on my computer and then doesn't work when I put it into the cloud. So we're just kind of sitting here, crossing our fingers, pressing refresh on this. If it's not done it in like 10 minutes, then we know it's broke. Also, the downside is that I have issues with the way that logging is working in these functions. I'm assuming it's because I'm using some preview stuff in Azure and it's not that stable. But it's really finicky getting logs out. That's the problem. And getting any kind of feedback. Like, from what I can tell, there aren't any functions running. But I know there is. So it's like, it's a bit of a pig, to be honest with you. I need to look into that and solve that problem, obviously. But I'm sticking to the happy path at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sticking to happy path, sunny, go-lucky kind of world where nothing's a problem. But yeah, once we've got this sorted, we can close off this user story, which I'm shook that it's only taken me this much time to get this far. Which is why I'm touching wood a lot, because otherwise it'll all fuck up, won't it? Yeah, as soon as we've got this, I can then do the functions that react to what this does. So they will be based on event grids. So as both the image gets published to the container registry and the results get piped out of that image, 2 functions will trigger and update the microservices. That's the next bit. Yeah. It fucking works, boys. You better fucking believe it, boys. Yeah, boy. I misjudged that rain a little bit. It's got to be said. Got a bit wet. Came back early, but you know. Really chuffed with the amount of work that I got done today. Not only did I finish enough development that I thought would have been 2 days worth of work, not 1. I'm ahead on generating emails to send to clients, and that's good. It means tomorrow all I need to do is draft. Well, I still got to do some emails because I need to clear myself for Thursday, and then we can start working on blogs and stuff. It's all good. It's all good, ladies and gentlemen. Otherwise, I'm heading off to bed, and over the next couple of days, we have 3 different meetup things and a lunch with people. So it's going to be a hectic couple of days. We're going to be trying to stay above water. It's got to be said, I feel like I'm relishing the challenge a little bit more. I feel like I've got like official goals now, which makes it kind of, I'm feeling better for doing, I feel like I'm doing more work and I'm feeling better for it. So that's working out for me. But I think today has just been like a good day in general, but I could have spent all day programming today and I didn't. And that's what I'm really proud of. And the cherry on the cake is the value of the amount of programming I did do is more than the amount of time I spent on it. So, but we'll see how it goes. Like I say, this is a big week for me. We've got to be trying to really like ramp up and try and get more productive work done instead of like kind of just meandering. I'm trying to like pick up and start running, and I'm going to start sprinting full steam ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Cool, yeah, so like I said, exciting couple of days, load of networking to do. We'll see if I can take my newfound energy and throw it into that as well. But yeah, cool beans. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you later.